The Nintendo Switch eShop sale, it's gone big with this week's sale, and not necessarily in volume, but rather there's a decent amount of AAA titles alongside the usual indie affair. I've got 12 games to take you through today, covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. My name's Alex, and this is SwitchCorner. Let's get started. Later in the video, I do have 2 winners to announce for 2 $10 eShop gift cards and 2 more to give away. To enter, drop a comment down below and those winners will be announced in next week's video. If you do grab anything as well, consider using cornershop.gg for your eShop credit. That's going to be instant delivery via email and that supports the channel. Doom Eternal is here with 67% off. That is a new low price, and much like Doom 2016, it is a fantastic port, and yes, sure, it suffers from some frame rate stutters occasionally, but when you do factor in the demand of this game versus the Switch's hardware, it is still an impressive feat. It's very much a continuation of the 2016 release as well. Here we are now basically taking down hordes of demons that have invaded Earth. We are essentially that last line of defense. It's fast paced, often brutal, and it is a must-play for first-person shooter fans. It also features motion controls that is always great to see, and you can check out my full video in the pinned comments. Fairy Tail may be a good option for turn-based RPG fans. Now I will put it out there, I reviewed it on the channel, you can see that video below. I was not all that keen. It's often basic and just simply repetitive in its design with too much backtracking as you're building up a squad. That said though, it's been a while since we've seen a sale on it, and for fans of the source material, no doubt it is going to appeal. Your goal here though is to become the #1 guild, and it covers much of the story seen in the anime. I've never seen it myself, so I did get lost occasionally, especially with all of the characters, but it matches the low price here with 34% off. Swordship was a recent release. It's a reverse shmup, meaning rather than attacking enemies, you're going to be dodging incoming fire and then using their weapon power against each other. The idea here is unique basically, and I had a lot of fun with its high intensity design, but I will note that it has a few questionable design decisions alongside that. It just needed, in my opinion, more high score chasing. It lacks longevity because it's only 5 locations, and endless mode would have been a great addition, and while there's a slew of unlocks, it wasn't enough to get me back personally. Watch my full review in the pinned comment, but it's 30% off, and that is matching the low price. Ninja Gaiden Master Collection is 30% off, that is a new low price. I'm a big fan of the series, and in fact, the original NES trilogy would be among my all-time favourites. Definitely had some fun over the years as well with these 3D iterations. Incredible combat, a huge amount of challenge, and some unique boss designs that they've always just made them stand out. There are some great locations too, from more traditional areas to futuristic cities, and I do think this is well worth the time. It's just a lot of game for your cash. If I had one complaint though, in the first game, the color palette feels muted compared to the rest of the package, also as well just from what I know of the original release. If you haven't already, consider checking out PlayStationCorner for a similar setup there. We have PS5 reviews, PSVR 2 reviews, deals, and of course then the latest news surrounding PlayStation Plus titles as well as essential editions. I've linked the channel in the pinned comment below, and as always, I truly appreciate the support. HunterX is an indie Metroidvania that impressed me, which you'll see in my review below. Now, it's from the same team as 3000 for Duel, and in fact you could really argue it's mostly a reskin in large part, but I personally preferred the enemy and the location design. There's little in the way of story, honestly, which is a shame because it's a unique premise, but we're going to be fighting back against demons, and yeah, throughout I found the platforming is solid, the combat is responsive, loved the screen-filling boss encounters, and there's also a huge amount of skill to explore and 170 items as well, so that's going to include a whole lot of weapons. It's 30% off then, matching the low, and I do think it is well worth a look. Kaiju Wars is a recent release that I played through that I still need to cover on the channel, but it's back here on sale again, and we do get a new low price of 25% off. Now, I was really impressed with this game. It's a tactical strategy experience that has you taking on the role of the mayor of this city, and you must now defend it from kaiju attacks over what is a 15-hour story. 5 kaiju in total to be concerned about. Definitely a game of patience, I will say that, as it's not always simply putting ground units in place to fight, but also strategically building locations that can, distract them. I'd watch a full review, or at least watch out for mine soon, but I love the visual style as well, and it even has weekly challenges to keep you coming back. Okay, so I quickly want to touch on 3 AAA games that have seen a discount, and they may well be worth a look. First, for those in the US and Canada, you can find a Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury. That's matching the low with 33% off. I am a big fan of 3D World, especially when played online in multiplayer or locally, but it's Bowser's Fury which was the highlight for me here, a new addition, and it's basically a new 3D Mario adventure that kind of gave me Mario 64 vibes. The idea though, work with Bowser Jr. to stop Bowser, who now grows to be a massive size. It's a collectible format here as we do explore, but I had great fun with it, and there's a huge amount of potential for an expanded game in here. Then in the UK, EU and Australia, you actually got 2 big AAA discounts. That's going to be LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. Talked to this just last week for those in the US and Canada, but now it is your turn with 60% off. That is a new low. It's also one of the best additions to the LEGO series in a long time as you take on all 9 films. And then also in the UK, EU and Australia, you can find Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope for 50% off. That is also a new low price, and it seems many have been waiting on a lower price with this one, understandably so, given, it's Ubisoft, they're famous for discounting, but it is still a great game that expands upon the original in all of the right ways while giving players more freedom in the movement and that control scheme. Save the day though and save our friends the Sparks on what is essentially this intergalactic adventure. Our first winner of the week then is going to Louis, who shouted out Squad 51. I've been having a blast with that game. The controls are tight. Then the black and white B-movie visuals, they look great in motion. I'll make sure to get it in a review roundup video of some sort in the near future. Congrats though, Louis. Drop me an email to claim that code, and everyone else, there is a second winner coming up here shortly in the video. Monster Train First Class then is a personal favourite of mine with 50% off. That matches the low price. I'm a big fan of roguelike deck builders, and this is my favourite on the system. You can see my full review of this title in the pinned comments, as well as my recent top 10 list of favourite deck builders. Definitely a bit more niche as lists out there go. Now what I love with this one is it works around a free floor system as you do battle it out, protecting these crystals, these gems that power a train being used to relight the fires of hell, which has now frozen over. With multiple difficulty levels though, there's plenty to keep you coming back, and I do often jump back in. Now along this journey as well, expect to navigate different directions, discover 280 cards, and work with 6 different clans, each packing a unique gameplay style. It also then packs in the Last Affinity DLC, and yeah, just know with this deal it does expire soon. At the time of recording, it's going to be just available now for 2 more days. Skyrim Anniversary Edition, and we all know this one. It's perhaps the most famous open world action RPG of all time at this point, or at least by console account, because it's basically been on every electronic device out there ever. I'm actually expecting to see it installed on my fridge at some point in the near future. There's just no question though that it is popular for a reason. The story is intriguing as we set out to defeat a world-ending dragon, but alongside this there's just a huge amount of side quests and places to uncover. This edition then adds in new quests, dungeons, bosses, weapons and activities, and it also includes all DLC expansions. Transparently, I'm yet to play the anniversary content myself, I do want to put that out there, but I think I'm going to be grabbing the upgrade myself, which is actually around $12 on sale right now for those of you that, like me, own the base game already. 60% off then, that is a new low price. Our second winner then, Sir Felix the Cat, who highlighted the Atla archives and compared it to a first-person Dragon Quest, which definitely sounds awesome. Can't say I know it myself or that I've played it, but I'll definitely make sure to check it out. Congrats Felix, email me to claim that code, and everyone else, drop a comment down below for your chance in next week's video. Rogue Legacy 2 then gets a new low price, 15% off, and look, sure, it's not a massive discount, but I cannot stress enough how good this game is. Now, if you haven't watched my under $10 video yet either, do know the original is on sale right now for just a couple of bucks. This follow-up though, it levels up the experience in nearly every way. Stunning hand-drawn visuals, more weapons, more character options, a bigger town to build in between runs, and still that same concept of die and your next in line will take over, meaning you just need to kind of adapt to different weapons and different run strategies. Incredible game that kept me busy ever since it launched, and it's probably about time I dropped a review of this one here on the channel. If you do like your action roguelite, so this is a must-buy game. And that's the video down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week? Let me know in the comments. A shout out then to the patrons of the channel who are going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Then hit subscribe, join us here for reviews and deals daily, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.